Okay. All right. Welcome, determiNATION, to our call with Joe. He is my corporate mentor, and he has helped me build my business and reach goals that I have wanted to reach. He's helping me this year as we go for Elite, and some of our other coaches trying to hit Premier and Elite as well. And he is just going to kind of talk to y'all about the foundations and how we build as a team, and just kind of give a little insight into Beachbody from not necessarily, a coach perspective, but more the corporate and what he sees and what he sees that works and what doesn't. So I'm gonna just turn it over to you, Joe.
Thank you so much. It's awesome to be here, Chris. Honestly, I used to work with Chris when I was in the West region, and then Texas got moved over to the Central, and I was like, yes, I get to work with Chris again. This is awesome. And I'm excited to be here with you guys because I love what we do. I love what you guys do. Honestly, it's a really amazing thing to be part of Beachbody. You see people's lives transform not only physically, but also emotionally and financially, right? And that's what we're all about here, is helping people hit their goals. And that's what I do. Like, I work with 3 through 8 star coaches in the Central region, basically the Central, like Texas, up to the Nebraskas, and then we go over to Michigan down to Louisiana. So that's kind of what the Central region is. And I'm excited to talk to you about some of these things, and you're going to look at a lot of them and you'll be like, okay, I kind of know all this stuff, right? But what I'm a big fan of is just saying, okay, like, it's easy to know what the basics are, but it's different to like do the basics every single day. And if we can align your actions with your goals, that is going to be what will unlock success for you guys in the end. Okay. So we were just at NLC, New Leader Conference, and it was a phenomenal event. So amazing to see all of these coaches. And basically what it is it's 2-star people who've hit 2-star that the previous year or during the guidelines when the qualifications are. And there's some elite point qualifications as well. But what I want to challenge you guys to do is shoot to get to 2-star. Okay, shoot to get to 2-star, because you get to go to NLC, you get to open up your second CBC, which will help you balance your volume out a little bit more. It's going to help you bring in a little bit more income. And honestly, the push from 2-star to 5-star is easier to get to than the push from diamond to 2-star, right? I will tell you that it is an event that is a game changer for a lot of coaches. We had Ashley Smith speak at this event. She was a top 10 coach. She actually was attending last year. We had Jamie Fitzpatrick that attended last year, who was also a top 10 coach. We had Bonnie Engel the year before, 2 years before that, who attended and became a top 10 coach as well. So not everybody that goes to the event obviously is going to become a top 10 coach. But what I will tell you is that it allows you to coordinate and what am I trying to say here? Build bonds and ties with other coaches who are doing similar things as you. And it also gives you access to a lot of awesome content that will help you move your business forward. So, actually, I'll just ask Chris, like, how did you like the event and what did it do for you?
I loved it. I got to go with Lindsay. We hit Premier the same year, so we went together. We didn't know what it was. We didn't really know why we were going. It was just one of those things. We kind of saw pictures from coaches and other teams that had done it, and we wanted to do it because we like to get together and have a good time. When we got there, though, we were blown away. The speakers they have, the trainings they have, and especially when you're a new coach, like, you put these people like Bonnie Engel and Amy Silverman like way up here, like they're these like unattainable people. And you're kind of walking around and talking and taking pictures with you. They sit at your table when you're doing events or when you're doing games, because you kind of break up different nights and do games with each other. Everyone eats together. It was just, and like Joe was saying, the networking you have, the coaches that you get to really get to know, you see them on Facebook and you get to sit down with them and talk with them, is amazing. Lindsay and I just came back pumped up, ready to rock and roll. Our team was absolutely on fire. We would run up to our hotel room in between sessions and like make a quick video. And we just did stupid stuff. We just loved it. We had so much fun. We learned so much. And I think that's really where like our passion for Beachbody actually started, was at that event. We had always believed in the company, but just being at NLC, surrounded by so many people that were like you, that were striving for amazing things, and being able to pick the brains. I mean, like Genevieve LeClure, like the top Canadian coach, was there, and I talked to her because we have some Canadians on our team. And I mean, everyone was just so open to sharing what they had. I absolutely loved it.
Awesome. Well, thanks. So guys, like, events can be game changers for you. Honestly, I'm here because I was looking into Beachbody, and I decided to attend a Super Saturday with a friend of mine that worked here at corporate. So I came and I saw what the event was all about, and I saw how many people had actually lost over 30 pounds or over 40 pounds. There was a girl in the audience that had actually lost up to 100 pounds, and I was like, okay, this is freaking cool. I gotta be part of this business. And then all of a sudden he was talking me into working at Beachbody, and then I was like, felt like I needed to talk him into letting me work at Beachbody, right? So it was a great game-changing event for me, and I know these things will be that way for you. So Summit is going to be just around the corner. We got April Super Saturday coming up. So guys, make sure that you attend those events when you can. And I guess I should put it in a maybe a little bit more strong way than that. Like, decide to attend the events, and make sure that you commit to make it happen. Jeff Hill always tells us, don't tell us you don't have time, just say it's not a priority, right? And if we make it a priority in our lives and we align our actions with going, it will happen. Sometimes we don't know even how it's going to happen. It's like, dude, I don't know who's going to babysit my kids. I don't know where I'm going to get my money for my flight ticket. I don't know all of this stuff. But when you make the decision to make things happen, it's interesting how the universe has a way of helping you work it out, you know, and connect all the dots, as long as you're determined to get there and you're willing to fight for it. So I don't want to take too much time talking about events, but honestly, I was inspired coming back from NLC, and I was like, dude, this is a game changer for me. I feel more inspired than ever about what we're doing at Beachbody. So just challenge you guys to make it to Summit and to put it as your goal to attend NLC next year. Okay. All right. So now that we're getting into this, I mean, I guess this is a good transition as ever to jump into what I wanted to talk about. And really, through coaching, the first thing that I'm going to ask you guys to do is to decide what you want to accomplish and where you want to go. Okay. That's so big, because so many of us get stuck in the day-to-day routines, and we know we want to live a better life, but we're like, all right, like, what does that better life even look like? If you don't know, or you don't allow yourself to dream big, you'll never get there. You won't. That's the very, very first step. I know it sounds basic, but I want you guys to clearly envision what you want through Beachbody and where you want to go. We use this analogy a lot. It's kind of a silly one, but I think it illustrates the point clearly. There's a point in the movie Alice in Wonderland where Alice is wandering through Wonderland, and she reaches a fork in the road, and she meets the Cheshire Cat there, and she asks the Cheshire Cat, which path should I take? And the Cheshire Cat responds back, said, well, where do you want to go? And she said, I don't know where I want to go. And the Cheshire Cat responded back and said, then it doesn't really matter which path you take. Every single day, you guys reach forks in the road. You have decisions you have to make. You have to decide what you want to do. And if you don't know where you're going to go, life is just going to take you by whichever path, and you're going to get battered around on the waves of life, right? You have to have a clear focus of what you want to achieve and where you want to go. And when you reach that path where you reach a fork in the road, you'll know which fork you need to take, even if it's not the easy one, right? Sometimes that fork in the road means I'm waking up early and I'm going to work out instead of laying in my bed. And you know, it's not always fun to do the day-to-day grind. But as we take the high road every day, as we take the more difficult road, the results you're looking for will be undeniable. They will come. Your life will change. You'll feel better. even though it's hard, right? Honestly, like I ran into a decision like that when I came back from NLC. So I come home from NLC, I walk in the door, give the family a hug, and lo and behold, what do I see in our kitchen table? 3 containers of my favorite kind of cookies. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to eat those cookies so bad. And I had to make a decision. Am I going to eat those cookies, or am I going to put those cookies away where I don't have to see them? So I did. I put them away on top of the refrigerator, put like all the food that's healthy in front of it so I didn't have to look at it. And my wife comes in, she's like, Joe, where are all the cookies? And I'm like, they're someplace I can't see them. But it was hard. I mean, you have to kind of make those decisions every single day, what you're going to want to do. So in order to quantify this, what I'm going to ask you to do is identify what you want to achieve and where you want to go, and send it to Chris. Okay. Just it can just be a couple of bullet points of, what you want to do through Beachbody, or even in just your life in general. All right. But write it out and make sure it's clear in your mind and it's something you really want to do. Okay, so once you've kind of decided what you want to do and where you want to go, the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that you guys are properly aligning yourselves with achieving those goals at that point in time, okay? I think it's a really cool thing that if you guys can align your daily actions with where you want to go, it's destined to become reality, because you guys are doing everything it takes to make that happen. It's like a formula, like 2 + 2 = 4, right? I mean, if you put all of the equations in place properly, then you will get the answer you're looking for. And that's what we want to do in your business, right? So it starts, honestly, with showing up every single day. There's a quote that I saw recently that says 80% of what you want to achieve in your life is just showing up, all right? So we need to make sure that every day we're showing up, we're making sure that we're doing what we need to do to get where we want to go. With Beachbody, there's a lot of things that you can do, okay? So what we need to do is we need to clearly identify what is most important for you to do first, okay? What I'll tell you is something I learned. In fact, they talked about this last year at NLC. It's a concept of I do, we do, and then you do, okay? So in Beachbody, there's a few different things that we need to figure out, like what am I doing? How can I do it together with my team? And then how can they do it by themselves? That's the principle of duplication that will open the doors to success for you guys. If it's helping more people, that's the way it'll work. If it's making more money, also, you're going to get that through the system. If it's rank advancing, that's perfect. So what I want you guys to do is think about how you can create that duplication in your team. But first, I want to start off with I do, okay? What are the things that you guys need to do first? Something we always say is people pay attention to what you do, not what you say, okay? So that whole concept of actions speak louder than words has never been more true than when your team is watching you or when your friends on Facebook are watching you, okay? So let's identify first every single day when your business hours are going to be. Now, I realize some of your moms, some of you work, some of you have crazy job schedules. It's not always the same. I totally get it, okay? But what I will tell you is that I absolutely don't want you guys to utilize those things as excuses as to why you can't do your business hours. In fact, that's all the more reason why you do have to get your business hours set down, because you have so many other things you've got to do during the day, okay? So let's identify some things that will help you. First, identify your weekly schedule on, like, let's say Sunday. Meet with your family, with your husband, with your kids, or whatever it is, and see what they've got on the docket. When is the field trips? What's your work schedule for that week? What is your spouse's work schedule for that week? Sit down, identify when you're available and when you're not, right? Because we want you guys to have balance in your lives. Like, we don't want you guys to just be like little Beachbody drones that, walk and talk Beachbody all day long. You guys have to have balance. You're here because you want freedom, right? So business hours will help you get what you need to have done at Beachbody, but it will also allow you to shut this thing off for a little while and enjoy your family and do what you need to do so you have a balanced, sustainable lifestyle. Okay? So sit down with the family once a week, identify when you're available, when you're not, and then write up your business hours for the week. Can you guys do that? Okay, let's see them hands. I want to see hands. Can you guys do it? Fantastic. All right. So aside from sending Chris where you want to go and what you want to achieve, I want you guys to as well send her when you're going to be doing your Beachbody hours for this week, for this coming, well, yeah, I guess this week, Monday through Sunday. So send those over to Chris, and I promise you, even if you guys only have 2 hours a day, or even if you only have an hour a day, if you are intentional about that time and you focus on the necessities first, you'll get so much done. Okay, I want you guys to have a sense of urgency, because once your business hours are done and you need to spend time with your kids, you need to spend time with your kids. Okay, we don't want to be like doing this and be like, yeah, I'm having family time. No, you're not. You're not having family time. And they're not going to see you as having family time. And also your coaches aren't going to get your full attention either. Okay. So let's make sure that we have that clear. And I promise you, you'll feel more fulfilled. You'll feel more vibrant. You'll get more done. Okay. So we need to have a sense of urgency. And what I'll ask you guys to do is, when you guys are doing your business hours, subdivide your time. This will help you make sure that you're spending your time on the proper areas. Because if you're not careful, we get caught into scrolling through news feeds, checking out people's selfies, those super cute yoga pants that your girlfriend just got, or whatever it is. And then before you know it, you're like, holy crap, I just spent 40 minutes scrolling through my news feed and I got nothing done, right? So what I want to ask you guys to do is this: subdivide your time. And there's an app for those of you who have iPhones. You can use an app called 30/30, and it's really awesome. And what you do is you just type in what your schedule is going to be during your business hours, and you're going to say, I'm going to spend 15 minutes friending, or 5 minutes friending new people on Facebook, 10 minutes on hey girl messages, 15 minutes on follow-ups, whatever it is. Like, you can subdivide the time that you're working with your coaches, and when the timer goes off and it tells you it's time to do the new thing, move on to the next thing. Because what I will tell you is the most common pitfall for our coaches is they get stuck into team management mode. And it's really easy to do because you're still working your business, right? And it's like, yeah, I'm working my business. I'm making sure that Sarah doesn't quit because she's really frustrated right now. And it's like, well, if you pour your heart and soul into Sarah all the time you're doing your business, then you're not bringing on any new coaches. So what does that mean? Best case scenario for you is you're going to keep Sarah, but nothing else is going to happen, right? Do you want your business to grow? Of course you do. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're not spending most of our time with team management. Because if we spend most of our time with team management, the best case scenario is you're just going to keep the team you have, right? And remember, we're focusing on changing our lives and getting the things that we want that we don't currently have. And if that's the case, we got to do things that we're not currently doing, right? So what I'll ask you to do is focus on 4 things first. I call these the necessities of your business, okay? The necessities of your business need to happen every day. I guess I should just say this. Right now I'm talking about when you're actually working your business, okay? You should definitely do your workouts, your PD, get your nutrition in, all that stuff done first, okay? I mean, if you're doing all that stuff, then you're going to be setting yourself up for success. Remember, it's the I do portion first. But right now, we're talking about when you're actually working your business, not just taking care of yourself. This is more like the we do portion right now. So the we do portion is going to be adding new friends to Facebook every single day. And I know this isn't rocket science. I'm sure you guys are probably already doing it. But I'm going to ask you guys to add 5 to 10 new people every single day. This is really important not to skip. Because as you're doing this, you're adding more people to your social media network. And Scotty Hobbs put it this way. I really like it. He said, it's almost like when you're going through your social media network, it's almost like flipping through a deck of cards. And you're looking for those aces. You're looking for people who would be great coaches, who would be great customers. And as you flip through that deck of cards and you've pulled out all 4 aces, You can go over it 3 or 4 more times, but you're not going to find any more aces. The only way that you can get more aces in there is to add more cards to your deck, okay? So I want you guys to be doing that every single day. After that, this is probably one of the most crucial portions that I think a lot of coaches miss out on. Have conversations, talk with people, connect with people, build trust and relationships with people. This is a relationship business, and if you're not building relationships, you're definitely missing the bus, right? But I can promise you, as that you build relationships with people, with those new friends you've added on Facebook, they're going to feel it, and they're going to be like, you know what? Kristen is awesome, or Sharon is awesome, or Brandy's posts are so fun. They're going to start to see who you are, and they're going to begin to trust you, especially as they see these transformations that you're posting up for yourself and also for other people who are in your challenge groups, right? A good way to do that is comment on their actual posts, all right? But be careful. Again, this is my little asterisk, or the caveat, don't get caught in watching the newsfeed all day. You know, give yourself a timer and say, okay, I'm going to be doing comments on news feeds for the next 20 minutes or in the next 15 minutes. Depends on how much time you're going to be spending on Beachbody every day, right? And then once that's done, move on to the next phase. But Stephen M.R. Covey talked at Leadership about the speed of trust. And as people trust you more, the speed of your business increases. You'll get more challengers faster. You'll get more coaches faster. Your coaches will develop to diamond and leaders faster. But we need to develop those relationships and increase the trust first that those people have in you, okay? So after you've done that, that's step 2, right? And I'm going to ask you guys to have 10 conversations a day. If you don't have a lot of time, some of you may not. Let's say you only have an hour, do 5. But if you have more than an hour, try 10, okay? The next one is invites. Who's ever felt intimidated by invites before? Anybody ever felt that way? I'll tell you I have. And the reason why is because we're afraid of being rejected, right? We just are. I'm curious, like, how many of you guys signed up the very first time Chris talked to you about coaching? Yeah, look at that, Brandy. She's like the rock star, like, hey, I want to do this. You know what? Every once in a while, we'll have a couple of coaches that will do that, and that's okay. I mean, that's great. But what I want you guys to understand is that the majority of the times you reach out to somebody, they're going to say no to you. Like the majority of you guys said no, and that's all right. So you need to just understand that's the first step in the process you're going through with these people. So do the invites. I'm going to ask you to do 5 to 10 invites every single day as well. As you do that, you're opening doors for the future, and you're helping people know that you're investing in them. So 5 to 10 invites, but what I will say is if you want to make your invites better, you got to start at the top of your funnel. If you're going to get a lot of people to sign up as coaches, it all starts with how many new friends you're adding, and then how many conversations, and then how many invites, and then, you know, challenge groups, and then challengers to coaches, and then coaches to leaders, right? But if you're like, hey, how come nobody's wanting to lead underneath me, or how come nobody's pushing forward? It's because there's probably a breakdown in your little funnel of people that you're dealing with. And you got to identify where those are at. What I will say is an invite to a free group is so awesome, because what do they have to lose? They have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Okay. Melanie Mitro uses free groups like a boss woman. She just talked about it at NLC. Another coach that's local to you guys, her name is Christy Lyons. She uses free groups like a boss. She not only was a coach I worked with in the West region before as a 1-star, and now as an elite coach, but she also developed 2 elite coaches underneath her this last year as well. And it's through that duplication process. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is you do your 5 to 10 invites. Those invites could be to a free group. It could be to a challenge group. It could be to coach. But if you don't have anybody that you feel comfortable with inviting to an actual challenge group yet, because the trust or the relationship isn't there, then build it, okay? And build it through getting them into a free group. And then once they've seen how cool the free group is, they get to see the peer support that you offer. That's what Beachbody is all about, ladies. Honestly, we get so much better results physically and emotionally when we push for something together. People are like just designed to we're kind of like pack animals. Like we do everything together. We thrive on being together. We get better results as a group than we do by ourselves. And as they jump in your free clean eating group or your free fitness group, they're going to be like, this is the support that I need. I love this. You've got to be adding the value there for them to really feel that, right? That's what sets us apart from all the other companies. As you guys go out there and offer this peer support and you breathe belief into people that's legitimate and genuine, right? Then all of a sudden, you're like, this is what I need. And you're like, hey, man, if you think this is cool, wait till you get into my actual challenge group. That's where the magic starts happening. We're going to give you an amazing workout program, amazing nutrition program, and we're also going to give you some awesome peer support, and you're going to see great results. And then at that point, they already trust you, right? They already know because they've seen what you've done in your free group. And then it's just a small hop from a free group to an actual challenge group, right? Let's see, so, like somebody said they hated contacting people on their friends list and started messaging and saw that my last message was about the business. So I started sending my friends messages instead of commenting on their posts. So when I see a post I like, I send them a message and tell them how I feel about it instead of commenting on their post. That works too. That works great. I would mix it up between the two, because one thing that is nice is as you comment on people's posts, what Facebook does is that they marry you up as like people that are interested in each other's comments. So if you comment on their post, then they will be more likely to see your post when you put something up. But I think personal messages are also very powerful. So I think that, they both have their place. I think that's great. So I think this is good. But those things are important. Obviously the invites, 5 to 10 invites as well. And then the last thing is follow-ups. When I asked you how many of you joined the very first time Chris talked to you, saw one hand go up. Yet all of you guys are here. You guys are all here because Chris followed up with you like a boss. Like, honestly, she was great at continuing to work with you guys, even though, she heard no at first. And that's what I want you guys to do. Just continue to follow up with people, continue to invest in people and say, hey, look, I love you. I think you're awesome. I think you'd be great in my group. I'm going to follow up with you in a little bit and see if you're interested later. Whatever it is, just continue to invest in them. If they are in your free group every single month, but they never want to join your challenge group, keep on getting them amazing results, but don't stop asking them, right? Just make sure that door is always open, and you never know when they're going to sign up. Perfect example is Megan Ewaldson. Megan Ewaldson, I think this year was like number 11. I think she's number 11. Can't remember. Last year she was number 3. And she's like, I'm so glad that my coach did not give up on me, because I had been invited to coaching by like 5 other coaches before I talked to her or she talked to me. And she was like, I chose her because she kept following up with me. She kept checking in, and she'd see how I was doing, and she would invite me again. And after like the 4th or 5th invite, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And, she turned into like number 3 coach in the whole network. Like, that's a problem you want to have, right? That would be fantastic. But honestly, guys, you'll never know who you're going to find. But as you go out there and you invest in people, you're never going to regret it. You're never going to regret it. You're never going to be like, I wish I hadn't have helped that person feel good about themselves, right? You're always going to be happy that you did that. And since this is a relationship business, you're only going to be setting yourself up for success. So do those 4 things. Write up where you want to go. Write up when your business hours are going to be there, and you're going to be aligning yourself to have serious success in this business and to achieve your goals. Okay? What my goal is for you guys is to get you guys to 2-star. I know it's not all about rank, but I'm kind of being selfish here, because if you can get to 2-star, you can get to 3-star. And if you're 3-star, you can start working with me. So I totally want you guys to be, somebody that I work with, that I get to help, and I get to, interact with you guys more. So let's get you to 2. And then once you're at 2, you can open up that second CVC, and we can hopefully get you to 3-star in a relatively short amount of time. But what I'll tell you is that if we put first things first, and we show up every single day, and we align ourselves with where we want to go, you will be destined to achieve your goals. It will happen for you. Okay? It will. It's just a question of showing up every single day. One of the things that Melanie Mitro said at NLC that really stood out to me is she said, failing to plan is like planning to fail. Okay? So we need to make sure that every single day we're strategic about what we want to do and how we're going to change more people's lives. As you get more people in your challenge groups and you give them amazing results, you're setting yourself up for success to transition those people into coaches because they know our products work, because you got them results and they feel like they've never felt before, right? So as you transition them into active coaches that are going out and willing to help other people change their lives, that's when the duplication starts for you guys, right? As that duplication locks in place, your volume goes up, your rank advancement will start happening, all those things will come into your life, and you'll be affecting way more people. I look at it like this. You just by yourself, as you're trying to do everything all on your own, it can be frustrating. You can make you feel like you're burning out. Okay? I look at it like you're almost like a pebble. When you drop that pebble into a pond, it makes ripples. That's like your influence on the community. That's like you and who you're helping to, change how many people you're helping in their lives, right? But as you go out there and you get tons of challengers, great results, and you transition those challengers to active coaches, then you've got an army underneath you who is also going out there and helping more people. And then all of a sudden your influence, you're not like a little pebble anymore, like this huge rock. And when that drops, you're making waves instead of ripples. And really that is what's going to make the difference, right? So let's not lose that step of duplication. And as you help other people and you go do the I do, we do, you do, it's really going to unlock so much for you guys. So honestly, that's what I've got for you guys today. But Chris, is there anything else that you would like us to cover? Any questions, anything like that?
I'll wait and see if anyone has any questions. I loved everything that you said, especially about, just setting a goal. Like, don't worry about how you're going to get there. If your goal is a certain income, a certain success club point, if it's, anything like that, just set the goal and then we can work backwards from that to help you. Don't get caught up in the how you're going to get there. Just set a goal that you really want and we'll work for that. When we were going for 2-star, myself and Lindsay, we didn't know what the heck that was. Like, just like Joe's talking about 2-star and CBC and like, we didn't know what that was, but people talk so much about it. We're like, well, it has to be good. So let's try it. And so we did it, and we didn't even know when we set up our second CBC how to do it. We had to talk to Becky and Christina about how to even set that up, what even volume was. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. Guys, it changed our business. Like, there's no, getting to 2-star and having that second CBC, you are able to sign Brandy up as a coach again. You are able to sign yourself up as a brand new coach and build yourself from the ground up and put yourself exactly where you want it to be so that you can really capitalize on your cycles and your income. So 2-star is an amazing goal. I think everyone should at least hit 2-star, and we can work with you, just baby steps on how to get there. But I like the 30/30 app. I never have even heard of that. I'm going to check that out and see what that's about.
And I'll just say, if you don't have 30/30, just put a little timer on your phone.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of coaches do. They just set a timer up and you say, okay, for the next 20 minutes, I'm doing X activity, and then I'm moving on to Y and then Z, but plan it out, stick with it. It'll help you.
Yeah. And so many of us are busy working moms, and guys, I get it. I mean, I worked 8 to 5, had 2 kids, coached sports, was on boards for the community. You don't have to have 10 hours in a day to devote to this. I did it early in the morning before the kids are up. I did it on my lunch hour. I did it late at night. So you just have to put your head down and, I would remove myself from my desk because I couldn't work there. So I would remove myself from the desk. I would go outside to a picnic table, and that is where I would work and put my headphones in and get it done. You don't need a lot of time. You just need intention, which is what Joe was talking about. Simone, let me unmute you. I see your hand is raised. So let me see. Simone, do you have a question? Maybe no. Okay. All right.
Well, what I will just ask you guys, just one last thing. Who is committed to show up every single day? I want to see who's willing to show up every day. Okay. That's what it takes. You know, if you guys show up every single day, Hunter, I'm so glad you're going to show up every single day, buddy. That's awesome. Your mommy needs helpers. That's going to be unstoppable. Well, guys, honestly, that's what it takes. Just the willingness to show up every day and focus on the right behaviors. If you do that, you will get where you want to go. So anyway, thanks for having me on the call.
Can I add to that? Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, for sure, Lindsay.
So I know a bunch of us on here, like Chris was saying, that full-time, we're moms, we have full-time jobs. It's tough. I had this motto when my second son came along: you show up and you fake it until you make it. And we had to pull that motto out for about a month because it was tough, So, and I know many of y'all on here, it's hard. So, and we're not discounting that whatsoever. So if you have to have a little moment to fake it till you make it, let Chris or I know, and we can help you. We can help you fake it till you make it. And like you said, because you're still showing up, doing what you can until you kind of have a routine back into place, because that's life and that happens. So
yeah, absolutely.
100%. And honestly, like, as you're showing up every single day, your rank might not determine like that here's what I'm trying to say. Your rank doesn't determine if you're a successful coach or a good coach, right? As you guys show up and you guys put into actions, you're a good coach. That's just the way it is, right? And there's a little bit of lag on when the results will indicate what you've done. But if you put all those things into place, those results will come at some point in time. And being a good coach is just effectively helping other people. And if you guys can do that work towards doing that every single day, then you are good coaches. And you are making a huge difference in people's lives. So I don't want you guys to ever feel inadequate or unworthy. Like, you guys are worthy. You guys are adequate. You guys are changing people's lives. As long as the actions you're doing every single day point in that direction, you are amazing coaches, right? And what Lindsay said, and also what Chris said, is like, reach out. Reach out. If you need help, reach out. Sometimes it's hard showing up every single day. It is. But as you guys put in those actions and as you guys are consistent, you're going to go where you want to go. I mean, in life, it's interesting. Like, I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk said this at Summit. He was like, so many of our coaches sign up and they're like, how come I'm not sipping, like a drink out of a coconut and having my feet up on the beach? It's been 6 months since I've been a coach. It's like, dude, in what business is that ever the case? You know what I mean? If we want to be super successful, Beachbody can give you the avenue to do that. A motivational speaker that I really loved, his name's Frank Barrett. He's a friend of mine. He would say, find a need and fill it, find a wound and heal it, and you'll be a rich person. We have so many people, and since the history of time, there's never been a more obese country or group of people than the United States, ever, since Adam and Eve. I mean, it's like, this is a very target-rich environment. We can help people feel better. We can help people look better. We can help people even make more money. We have the ability to fill those needs. There's so many people that are hurting out there, and we have tried and true abilities to fix that for them. You guys can do that as you show up every single day. It's going to be work. It's going to be hard. Like Mike Tyson says, everybody always has a plan until they get punched in the face, right? It's like, sometimes life's going to punch you in the face. Your kids are going to scribble on the wall. You're going to, be expecting, and you're going to be tired, and, you're going to have, things that happen. You'll get a flat tire in your car. And like, all these things take place, but it's just all about the commitment. If you're willing to show up, even on those hard days, the results will come. It's just like our fitness, right? I mean, as we push together in a fitness group, we get better results. As you guys push together in a business group, you'll get better results. But the means is there. I mean, I look at all these other companies that are just like, I consider them kind of like flim-flam companies. I'm like, dude, that's like kind of shady. And yet people are still making money through it, right? How many fitness companies are out there that are just absolute baloney? Just tons. I mean, we see people every single day whose lives have been transformed through our business all the time. I was in Kansas City at Super Saturday. There's 3 coaches who lost over 100 pounds in the audience. There's only 300 people there. Any other company would have those people be their poster children. They would be all over the place. Their face would be everywhere. We have so many coaches that lose over 100 pounds, that lose over 60 pounds, 70 pounds, 80 pounds. We can't even use all of them because the results are that prolific, right? So as you guys go out there and focus on changing other people's lives, you know, opportunities will open up for you guys and you'll feel more fulfilled. You'll make more money. Anyway, I could keep talking to you guys forever if you let me.
I love it.
Anyway.
I love it from the heart. But thank you, Joe. We really appreciate it. Needed to hear that. So thank you for sharing.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate you being here. I'm excited to be working with you in the future. I know what's going to happen as you guys keep showing up. Thanks a lot, and you guys have a great day.
All righty. Bye, Joe.
Bye.